Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Altitude Sickness Podcast. This is episode 29. I am here. I'm Tony, and I'm being joined by Matthew today. How are we doing?
Pretty solid. Unfortunate weekend for the Rockies, but happy for a few guys. So, it's also probably a well-deserved time off with the All-Star break.
Yeah,
So, you know,
yeah, for sure. I think you could see in the last weekend series against the Giants, that 4 game series. I think you could see some guys running out of steam. I think you could clearly see some like they needed to just get
they
a
needed,
break going
yeah,
because
they needed a couple days. They were just going through it.
and at the end, I mean, they ended the first half on a 17 game streak with no days off. So they absolutely needed it.
Yeah,
And
true.
yeah, and like you said, like kind of a disappointing series to start the second half, but they're still a struggling team. Like that's the thing. And unfortunately, with trades coming up probably soon, they're only going to be worse. Like we're going to be trading a lot of some of the good players. We should be trading some of them, but yeah. So this first series, let's just get right into it. Rockies lose the series to the Reds. NL Central team that has kind of been a disappointment for the most part, but they were not really that disappointing for their fans in this series. Start off first game. Willie Castro hit a home run. Other than that, it was pretty quiet offensively. There was really nothing working. Um, Gabe Hughes actually looked pretty solid for most of the game. He ran into a little bit of traffic in the 6th inning, I believe it was. And with one out, I believe, with a couple runners on or something, Warren Schaefer made the decision to pull him when he only had pitched about 80 pitches or so. And I was pretty annoyed watching that. I did not get why they pulled him. Uh, because I thought he was gonna be fine. Like I thought he was gonna work it out. Um, but it ended up coming back and biting him. Runners scored and it instantly burned them. And unfortunately, the Rockies, with just no offense in the game, did not really stand a chance here. They lose 7-2. But on Saturday, a day game, a weird Saturday day game for some reason, Sagano comes out and does his thing as he's done pretty much all year. He gave them a pretty good start here. Six and a third innings, 3 earned runs and 3 strikeouts. He did his thing. Um, and the offense was pretty good today on that day, especially TJ Rumfield. He kind of popped off. I think it was his first career 4-hit game,
Yeah.
where he had a home run in the 7th inning. I think it was later in the game, 7th or 8th
Yeah.
inning, whatever it
So it
was.
was,
But he had 4 RBIs as well. It was a really good day. McCarthy and Moniak both had 2 hits and 2 RBIs, so a huge day for the top of the lineup here. Um, and the bullpen came in and was solid after Sagano, and they did their thing. The Rockies ended up winning this game pretty handily, 10-3. So the rubber match coming in on Sunday. Um, Unfortunately, it was pretty much immediately just a gut punch,
yep.
because Ryan Feltner had possibly his worst start in the big leagues, where he went only 2 and a third inning, allowing 8 earned runs with 4 walks, and he allowed 3 different home runs. He allowed 5 in the first inning and then 3 in the second inning. It was just over from there.
I think I heard the broadcast say that like he has only given up like 8 total
Yeah.
first inning runs
Mm-hmm.
like in the last couple months or all year. I don't remember which one, but he then gave up 5 in the first inning.
Yeah.
That was tough.
It was pretty clear that all of his secondaries were just not working. He Every ball that was hit, every home run, I'm pretty sure was on a slider, and they were all cement mixer down the middle sliders. Like it was just not close. Very unfortunate. Um, Tanner Gordon actually came into relief, long reliever style, and he actually did a very good job. I think he pitched 5 and a third or 5 2/3, only giving up 1 run. Like he did his job perfectly fine, and he saved the bullpen. So he did his job. And the offense honestly was like pretty solid for the most part. Like, and I say the offense, it really was one guy. It was Hunter Goodman, where he hit 3 home runs and had 5 RBI. His second 3 homer game of the year. I believe he is the only Rocky. He is one of only like 3 or 4 Rockies now to have 2 separate 3 home run games, and he's the only Rocky to do it in the same year. I think the other guys I saw, it was Larry Walker, Todd Helton, and Cargo were the only other Rockies to have 2 3 home run games.
Well,
Um,
this was also like within the span of a month, I
yeah, and
think.
that's the thing is I forgot
Yeah,
where was his other one?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah, and that was less than a month ago, I think. So
I think I can't remember when it was, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was pretty
it was
crazy.
in July. It was like that first week of July. I'm pretty sure was when it was. So
Yeah,
um,
it was pretty,
kind of insane actually. So he has a pretty good chance of doing another. Honestly, having another one, which would be kind of insane. Um, but But yeah, and then Castro hit a late home run in the ninth inning that cut the lead a little bit, but it was just not enough, and the Rockies did end up losing 9-6. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, I'd say a pretty disappointing series because really, if Feltner does not just blow up in the beginning in that game in the first inning, if he just does not blow up, the Rockies are in that game at least, and if not, win that game because the bullpen did their job. It's just really unfortunate, honestly, how that goes. Um, but it is what it is. I mean, Rockies are
yeah.
going to lose series. So
Hunter Goodman's last 3 home run was on June 27th. So
okay,
yeah,
so
less than
yeah,
a month ago.
so like less than a month ago.
Yeah,
That's just
15 days
crazy.
ago or something like that.
Yeah,
So
that's just crazy. But
yeah,
that is what it is, really. Um, I believe his OPS. Really quick, we could just do it. Yeah, I mean, we've been doing. I feel like we've done it so much with him and Rumfield, just talking about how good they've been this year. But like, I mean, who can blame us? Like that's what happens when when a player on your team is good. Currently, he has an 886 OP, almost 900 OPS from the catching position. Is just absolutely insane. I mean, he's hit 30 home runs, and remember for last year, he had 31 home runs in the whole all of last year, which was the Rockies' record by a catcher, and he already has 30 home runs. He has a chance here to hit. He has an outside chance of hitting 50 if he really steps on it. He has a chance. I don't know how if there's a predicting thing. I think Fangraphs might be able to do it. Um, I'm looking it up real quick. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, Fangraphs has a projection
Yeah,
chart,
does it say like how
but
many he's like on pace for?
this is not updated. It says he's projected 29. Obviously, he's hit more than that.
Oh,
So,
I guess that was at the beginning of the year. I guess he was projected 29. That's actually funny though. Like thinking about that. I don't know
yeah,
if they have that then. They may not.
uh,
They may not have like a
chart
doesn't
projection. I
really
think
matter, but like
they do here. If you want to keep talking, I
yeah,
think I can
sorry.
probably find
Um
it.
but um oh what did my notes go? There they are. Okay. Well, that's the series, and that's the only one we got to talk about because last week again was the All Star break. So Rockies only had one series. Good day off. Good time. Um, I know we talked about it last week. Also, another thing on Hunter Goodman, he got fully snubbed from not participating in the home run derby. That is just absolute BS that he was not in it. But it is what it is. But we'll move on. We'll move on. Um, real quick update on IL stuff. Jeff Criswell was just placed back on the 15-day IL. I don't think I've seen that dude not on the IL like ever. It's insane. But he made room for Tomoyuki Sagano, who came back and pitched pretty well and got the win. Who Sagano also real quick, he has 9 wins I believe on the season now, which is awesome. I don't know how many wins the most the Rockies had last year, but I imagine it's not that many. I'm checking really quickly.
What's the like?
The most wins the Rockies had on for a pitcher last season was 6 with Tanner Gordon. So Tomoyuki Sagano already has 9, which that might be more than anyone had even in the 2024 season. I'm looking real quick. Pull this up. Yep, Cal Quantrill had 8. Wow, I had a throwback. 2023 even. 2023 is when you'll have to go back to the last time someone had 9 wins for the Rockies, and it was Austin Gomber had 9 wins. How did he go 9-9 with a 5.5 ERA? That is insane. Anyway, but yeah, so thank gosh for Sagano. He has been kind of just like that anchor the whole season, and he's just been doing his thing, and he just gives the Rockies a chance to win every time he plays. So you've got to love it. And again, sad for Jeff Criswell going back on the IL. I just hope he can figure it out because he's got good stuff. He just that surgery and then this, whatever this is now, I don't remember what it was, but
that's pretty rough. Seeing him again, I'm just like, oh, is he ever gonna play?
yeah.
Is he ever gonna be healthy?
Mm-hmm.
I hate when that happens to players.
Yeah. But as everyone knows, as we move into the next part of this, it is fully trade season, and that was actually displayed today for the Rockies, as the Rockies have made their official first major league trade. And it was sending, and this one was honestly a shock to me. I was not really expecting this one. The Rockies send right-handed pitcher Seth Halverson to the Los Angeles Dodgers, which very shocking, both for the player and honestly the destination. I was not expecting a trade with the Dodgers because I feel like the Rockies, the only team that the Rockies trade within the division often with is the Diamondbacks. That's usually the only trade or the only NL West team that they trade with, but Dodgers get that guy. Or the Rockies in return get right-handed pitcher Nick Frasso and outfielder Landon Vidoric. Yeah. Something like that. Who is at high A, who's a high A, I think, either low A or high A. But I'll just talk really quick about the Landon real quick. This year just seems to be kind of a down year for him. In 262 plate appearances across 2 levels, he's hitting 176, yet he has a 340 on base percentage and then a 343 slug for a 683 OPS. He's got 8 home runs, so he's got, a tiny bit of power, but you're not really looking for that. But the big thing here with him is he has 100 strikeouts to 51 walks. So it's kind of insane how much this man walks, because he also proved to have a pretty good eye in his first year in pro ball as well. And so, that's probably where the Rockies are looking. And again, you got to think about it this way. It's trading with the Dodgers this early. Josh Burns probably saw these 2 guys and probably had Josh Burns, who is the GM of the Rockies now, but formerly was the GM of the Dodgers, or a higher ranking assistant something in the Dodgers organization. And he probably saw something with one or 2 of these guys, and he was interested in them. And I think what Landon here has is that good eye and on-base skills. I think that's what they want to attack and get. Which, that makes sense. That's what the Rockies have been looking for. That's what they've been preaching this entire year, has been, we have got to get on base more. And so the strikeouts are a decent amount, in all fairness. I think it's over 30%. I mean, 100, it's easily over 30% with 262 plate appearances and 100 strikeouts. That's a pretty high percentage. And so that's something they might just need to fight at a little bit. Yeah. So, but again, I mean, if you're getting on base like he is, that might be worth that as well.
He just seems like a guy that doesn't really like to swing the bat too much. So
yeah,
his good eye probably gets him backwards Ks sometimes, I'm sure.
Gets him into deep counts, deep backward counts that then end up possibly leading
Yeah,
to those
I mean
strikeouts.
we see it with Karros all the time. Like
Yeah.
Karros is very consistently getting those 3-2 counts, but also striking out quite a bit because of them.
Hmm.
So,
Agreed. Agreed.
but
So, but
uh,
the other guy is who I'm interested in is Nick Frasso. So he's right-handed pitcher, and at AAA this year, and again in AAA, and because he's a Dodgers minor leaguer, he was pitching in the PCL, the dreaded PCL, the inflator of inflating stats. Um, but in 24 and 2/3 innings pitched this year, he has a 4.74 ERA, which I'm really not going to look at too much. Like, that's not as big of a deal. So I'm giving that a grain of salt because of the PCL. The big thing I like is the 40 strikeouts that he has in 24 and 2/3 innings. That's a lot of strikeouts. Also, usually when you have a lot of nasty stuff, that does come with some walks because sometimes it's harder to control that. So he does have 17 walks, but it's a big number here. It's 14.59 strikeouts per 9 innings. Now, I don't know if that's a stat that I don't know if that's a stat that um, Baseball Reference easily has just for pitchers. Trying to look here.
yeah, they have strikeouts per nine. SO9.
Yeah, strikeouts per 9. So, for reference, a pitcher with, okay, let's say a solid amount of innings here, because I'm not including Dollander, for instance, who, is a strikeout per 9 guy. He's a strikeout guy. Had 9.6 strikeouts per 9 innings this year. Now, granted, he's been hurt, and he's also a starter, so that's going to be less because you're facing more batters. So our highest reliever that has significant time on the Rockies this year is Jimmy Herget with 9.5. So this guy strikes out 5 more batters per 9 innings than Jimmy Herget does. Than the guy that has the most as a reliever on the Rockies right now. And now obviously that might go down a little bit going up to the major leagues, especially pitching at Coors Field. But again, that's the type of stuff that you want with him is like you're looking for guys that have that strikeout stuff, which has always been something that I have been really, really frustrated with what the Rockies seem to not be looking for when it comes to pitchers, is that they've looked for the ground ball contact guys, which to me makes absolutely no sense in a place where contact kills the most. Um, and so I'm looking at Nick Frasso's Prospect Savant, which is just baseball savant, but for prospects. Um, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, strikeout percentage. The strikeout percentage is 34.5%. He also limits hard hits pretty well. He's got a decent amount of whiff rate, good contact rate, good swinging strike rate. Like all of his advanced statistics and advanced stuff look great. Like it's red along the board. The big thing is the walks. He does walk a decent amount, but that again comes with the strikeout stuff. Like walking people, that comes with it. And so his big thing that he's just been, I guess, working with is so big things with him. Yeah, he throws a four-seam fastball, changeup, cutter, slider. So he throws 2 types of fastballs plus the changeup and a slider. So yeah, that's about like what I expect from a typical Coors Field looking pitcher here. Um, his average velo on the four seam is 96, so he's an you know upper 90s thrower, uh, which you love to see. So I and I think for Seth Halverson, thinking about it in this way with Seth Halverson, I do think that he needed a change of scenery type of thing because I just don't think that Coors Field is going to work for a guy like him. I think he has the stuff to be like an elite closer slash setup man because of just how hard he can throw. But he clearly struggled a lot with command. And I think the Rockies maybe just didn't want to deal with it, or they saw some value that they could get from him and they saw these other guys and wanted them instead. So I think that might be what just came up with that or came from that. And so that's awesome. And I'm pretty happy that the Rockies ended up getting something for him, especially because last year I remember a lot of teams calling in on both Halverson and Vodnik when they had trade value. And Rockies obviously did not trade either of them. And now, granted, they had a lot of team control left, but it's also like, you know, strike while the iron's hot. You know, get what you can get for these guys. Um, and so I do like this move. At first, I wasn't happy, and honestly, I was more confused because it kind of just came out of nowhere. But I do think I like this because I really like what Frasso has, and so I'm a big fan of that. So,
Yeah.
but um, other than that, next thing I've got on my list is that Roldy Brito, the breakout prospect, honestly, for the Rockies this year. He's been, climbing up the leaderboard in our prospect rankings for a while. And I think this year, right now, I think he's third. I think Holiday and Condon are 1 and 2. And then I think Roldy Brito is third on the list. Um, has been moved up to High A Spokane. He's been playing in Fresno the whole year, and he's finally moved up to High A Spokane, and because he has just been crushing it for the Grizzlies down in Fresno. And so that's really cool. I'm really happy that he's up there because I think he's been doing such a good job this year. And I've been watching him a decent amount. I've been keeping my eye on him.
Mhm.
And that's really, really cool for him. And so I hope that he can just continue to do well and continue to progress, um, and just keep doing his thing. So,
Agree.
and then also really quick of note, just a few housekeeping things, whatever. Rockies officially signed, I think it was 19 of their 21 draft picks.
Yeah.
Two of them were not signed. I forgot which ones they were.
I imagine they were later,
They were. I
right?
think it was like two of the last three draft picks. Um,
Probably college players that could have gotten better drafts maybe next year.
yeah, I think it's just because they foresaw that they could get a higher draft pick for next year. Um, I'm trying to see really quick who it was. Looking it up. Looking it up. Looking it up. Looking it up.
Excuse me.
Ba, 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 ba. 18th round pick Blake Bonin and 20th round selection Dimitri Williams Jr.'s did not sign um, with the organization, but everyone else did. They are all probably at the draft pick camp that the Rockies have, and I don't think we'll see our first round pick. I don't think we'll see Tyler Bell in Fresno this year, not like how Ethan Holiday did last year, because I honestly foresee them trying to get that labrum, because he played with a torn labrum for the whole year this year in college. I foresee them trying to just get that fixed now and then having him start fresh next year. I could foresee them doing that, which I think makes sense. You don't want to just put him out there if he's hurt. But it'll be interesting next year to see what they do with him because, again, he plays shortstop and so does Ethan Holiday. And they plan on having both of them continue to play shortstop. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't foresee Ethan Holiday making the jump to Spokane immediately. I think they're going to start him in Fresno again because I think he still had some things to prove there, even though he was really working his way up. But, it's exciting times in the worlds of Rockies prospects, honestly. I
Yeah,
don't know.
definitely looking better than before.
I don't know if the Rockies prospects. I don't know if the rankings have been updated quite yet to include the new guys. I don't believe they have. No, according to MLB.com or MLIB or whatever, it does not include the new guys quite yet. I expect Tyler Bell to be ranked number 2 or 3. I expect him to be pretty high. And especially with Condon most likely graduating either late this year or early next year. I know there's a threshold that he has to play to lose his rookie status and therefore would be off the prospect ranking. But Cole Carrig also is going to probably fall off this list pretty soon. But pretty good stuff for the Rockies prospect stuff, all things considered. So, but that's honestly all I've got today. Kind of a shorter one just because we didn't have 2 series to talk about. So it is what it is. Next week we might have more trade stuff to talk about too. Right now, there's only been one. So
I would say the trade was the salad and breadsticks. Not even the breadsticks, just the salad at Olive Garden. Of the trades that are coming up.
yeah, just that. That's the appetizer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I could see it. Well, hopefully, just like those salad and breadsticks, they will be okay. Well, not unlimited. I don't want them to trade everybody, but you know what I mean. I want there to be a lot of trades. That's what I'm saying.
It was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But yep. But at the same time,
All-Star game, Hunter Goodman lined up.
Yeah, on one pitch. So I watched all of the game up until that point, saw him line out, and then turned the game off because I didn't really. Pretty uneventful, pretty boring game, honestly. AL shuts out the NL. AL shuts out the NL in usual fashion. NL loses. I don't understand it. The NL always just has an inferior all-star game or all-star team.
Even though the NL is like, I feel like the teams in the NL are just playing better.
And I also think the NL also really has they have right now. There's a lot of top-heavy stuff, but then also there's more middle ground that's like covered with the NL, whereas the AL right now is just kind of booty. So, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
But that's all I've got. Fun stuff here. Next week will be episode 30, which is kind of insane. But maybe it'll be a super crazy one because of all the trades. So
that could be interesting.
Do you have a real quick name one player that you think will be traded by next week's podcast?
By next week?
Who do you have?
I think a possible candidate could be Jake McCarthy.
Yeah, I could see it. I'll go out on a limb. I will say this one might be just a weird one. I think Brennan Bernardino will be traded by next year's podcast because I think that the Rockies have a few bullpen guys that other teams are really looking at. Herget's not been great, but he still, I think, has value. Bernardino has been very good, and I think he definitely has value. And then obviously we've talked about Senzatella. I think he definitely also has value. But I really do think that Bernardino is going to get traded because he's not getting paid that much. And he still has some years of control. So I think Bernardino will be traded by next week pod. So, yeah, good stuff. True. We'll check in on that next year. We'll see, or next week, not next year. Next week, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right.
But cool. Bit of a short episode. I guess it helps with the counteracting the long episode that was last week, but. Other than that, I don't have anything else. So, as always, go Rockies, and we will see you guys in the next one. All right? Bye.